The European Union is styled by liberals as a workers' paradise. To liberals we must imitate it and be more like them. In reality they are nothing but third world dictatorships. America can learn a lot from Europe. Like, never trust government and never allow socialism to fester in any way. The liberals want us to imitate Europe, and we have done nicely. I have been to Europe on missionary work, and I can tell you from my own experience that this is a road we had better not go down. No sir. Countries like Scandinavia nations, Denmark, Norway and Sweden, along with Germany, Poland, Czechoslovakia and so on, are poverty pits. They are Potemkin villages. In Europe there is no freedom. Freedom of speech is not allowed. Only government-approved speech is allowed, in this case multicultural, atheist, godless speech, and speech advocating the theft of other people's resources to insatiate drug addicts and the lazy. Freedom of the press is barred as well. All media outlets are regulated severely by the state. Printing, publishing and broadcasting without authority or permission by liberal officials is treason and severely punished. Gun control is tight. Only the government owns guns. That and criminals, Muslim immigrant pests and other scum. Muslims are usually left alone and allowed to preach hatred and rape women freely. In Europe there is a sales tax of 25 to 50% to the dollar. There are also additional taxes for certain goods like cars, soda and cough syrup. It's for the greater good, we are told. Cars are only owned by the very, very rich in government, and gasoline is $8 a gallon. Some places even higher. Jobs are also scarce. Even though minimum wage is outrageously high, even though it's illegal to fire someone, unemployment is around 10 to 30%. Welfare, which is styled as being the best, is usually not available to those not young or able enough. In England, Sweden and Denmark, being homeless is a death sentence. Thousands die a year because they are denied welfare benefits and jobs and are viewed as useless eaters. Their deaths are necessary, according to liberals, to ration what little there is thanks to government and to keep the bottom feeders from breeding. In countries like the Netherlands, the state has the right to kill you if you are deemed useless at birth. Weak and sick babies that can grow up to be scientists and important people are viewed as a burden and as useless. They are killed. Just like in liberal Germany in the 1930s. Homelessness, poverty and crime are very, very common in Europe thanks to liberalism. When I visited Copenhagen to preach and tend to the sick and needy, I was overwhelmed. My wife could not stop crying and I almost broke down too. There are more homeless in Europe's cities than Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the homeless capital of America, but at least there are rescue missions and grassroots feeding there still. Not for long if liberals have anything to say. But there is 10 times more homeless in Copenhagen. Large amounts of homeless can also be found in London, Paris and Stockholm. In these countries the homeless problem is solved by the state by banning them from working and letting them freeze to death and die. This is what liberals in America want for this country. They love the European Union. They exclaim that everyone will be able to go on welfare, live middle class, be perverts, lazy and dope and shoot up. The real reason is because they want the poor to die. Liberals are behind laws banning feeding the homeless in Orlando, Florida and Dallas, and are trying to ban feeding the poor in LA, in Santa Monica, where everyone is liberal. Giving a homeless man a sandwich is a felony. It will be a felony everywhere soon. A visit to Europe proves that socialism still is the worst system out there, that atheism is futile and that Jesus is Lord. We must pray for restoration of Europe as a Christian nation. No more popery, no more Vatican, no more liberals, not more taxation or Islam or environmentalism. We must pray the same for America, that we gain dominion over our nation and restore the original intent of our founders.